It's the NFL on.
The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. Powering his way forward. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. They'll start on the ground here on first down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Sanders. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 19. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Warren will try the right side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. This guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Left side here, taken in by Metcalf. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll make it second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Pat Freiermuth. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 3. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw, Prescott. He'll find Paris Campbell, that's complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now Prescott. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on fourth down. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Off play action. Sanders. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now a 2nd and 10. A handoff for Warren. Powers through. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down. Off the play fake, Prescott. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Prescott yet again. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up to the 20.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7 from the 20. They'll run it. Warren fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Warren. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st half.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw. Sanders. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Sanders. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 18. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. That is incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To throw is Prescott. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On is the punter, Brian Ager, to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. $10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Catch made here by Campbell. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
So he stopped for no gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Throwing. Prescott. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it makes it third down and 2 yards to go. Operating from the gun, Sanders. That is caught. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Off the play fake, Sanders. And this is caught at the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 36 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Warren. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Sanders. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Back to throw. Sanders. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw.
Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Warren taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here, because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Well, now how about this return? And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Prescott to throw it. His throw incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Prescott from the gun on third. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long. 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. He'll drop to throw. Through the middle of the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 44 yards. And the Cowboys are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a run with Warren. 76 yards rushing for him now to this point. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They toss it to Warren. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Got his man, it's Warren. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Sanders from the gun on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 26. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game. And trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Sanders. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Great job here by this defense. They try to bring the receiver from one side of the field to the other, hoping he'll get lost in the wash. But a really nice job there to make a quick tackle and force 4th and goal.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Dak. That's complete to Lamb. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's 2nd down. To throw, Prescott. Into the hands of Sanders. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
This is 1st and 10. Prescott. And that's caught by Williams. And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Here's Prescott. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Now Dak. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Here's Prescott. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.